Oh, look at that butt, dude. Look at that butt, dude. That's a nice butt right there, dude. Yo, I am super stoked on this exhaust setup. And I know you guys want some more clips after seeing that last video of us installing the exhaust system, on hearing the exhaust system, but I can't really drive anywhere. And I'm about to show you guys why I can't. I mean, I can, but I'll probably be, you know, a little reckless. Let me just show you. So this is the driver's side. This is the driver's side rear wheel. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm just gonna give it some, you know, I'm trying to shake it. Try and move it, you know, it's not budging at all, right? We're gonna come over here to the right rear wheel over here on the passenger side. Let me just show you guys real quick what we're dealing with. I know you guys can hear it. I'm not sure if you guys can see it too well, but the whole wheel is moving. So we got a bad wheel hub over here. I guess the bearings on the inside are either starting to go missing or they're all just kind of out of shape right now. This is never safe to drive on. So if you guys ever have this, make sure all your lug nuts are tight first off. And then if you go ahead and shake it, and you see that your whole axle, your whole brake system and everything is moving with it, yeah, that's a bad wheel hub. So that's why I did not want to dog it yesterday and give you guys some good exhaust clips. So what we're gonna have to be doing is replacing pretty much the wheel hub, but luckily for us, we pulled out the old axles and the old wheel hubs and control arms and cut backing plates out of the old G35. Luckily, none of these parts here got damaged from the crash, and they are still fairly new because I just put these axles in there from another secondhand G35. I guess they were rebuilt with some new boots and re-greased and everything. They run great, they don't vibrate, and also the wheel hubs are installed all in this same assembly here, so those are nice and straight as well. I checked them before I took them off of the Rec G, and I made sure that they were good. So we're going to be using these on our new G35. The only thing that I'm kind of scared of getting into with these axles and hubs is these rear brakes. As you can see, everything's just kind of like out of place. Like I'm gonna have to figure out how to put these rear brakes back together. I remember it was a pain in the ass to remove them. We're gonna have to figure it out. I'm gonna have to just look at those, see how I can remove the ones off of the car that's on there right now, and see what I can do, go from there. So another good reason to be changing out these axles as well as the hubs, if you take a good look under here, so this is the axle boot right here. You can see it's totally ripped open, all the grease is flying out everywhere, or it probably already flew out a long time ago because that grease looks pretty dirty right now. But yeah, these axles are gonna go bye-bye. And eventually, I have the differential that is still out of the old car that I may end up building with some new gears and then putting that in later. But for now, we're gonna get those axles done. This differential bushing right here that sits, you know, right behind the diff is completely shot. As you guys can see, it's got a nice slit in it. Probably leaked out a long time ago, and I can definitely feel all the chassis roll coming through here. I have this bushing. I'm gonna have to replace it, but I'm also gonna have to replace that bushing and that bushing. I'm not sure if I want to do this while I'm doing the diff, or if I should just do this soon before the tune, because I do need to get this car tuned soon, and I don't want any really chassis roll when you know, when I'm getting the thing tuned. So we'll figure it out. But for now, let's just start by redoing this rear end pretty much by changing out the axles and the hubs and getting a safe ride going. Oh, dude, it is so fucking hot out here, dude. Need some ice out here, dude. Seriously, it is a hot day. I even got sunburn out here yesterday just from chilling. Anyway, guys, I'm not gonna be talking too much. I'm gonna just go ahead and get to work. We're gonna go ahead and do a full send on it right now, you know what I'm saying? I got the air compressor, I got the tools and everything. We're just gonna go ahead and knock the wheels off and knock all the bolts out with the gun and see if we can kind of get to those brakes nice and easy. See if I can learn how to go ahead and just dismantle them, take them out, and put them back in. Also, while I have the brake caliper off and, you know, the rotors off and everything like that, I'm thinking we should probably go ahead and put on the new Akebono brakes that are sitting over there, nice and painted, just collecting dust because they're not on the car yet. So, and they end up, you know, the next video might be installing those calipers, so that would be freaking awesome. Stay tuned. Anyway, let's get to work. Coilovers up here, attaching pretty much to the top of the knuckle right here. We're gonna have to detach this bottom bucket, detach the coilover, of course, and then we're gonna detach this upper rear control arm from the two bolts that are on the inside there. We're gonna leave it connected to the knuckle here because we have the whole control arm from the other car that we're gonna be putting in here, which is 2 years newer. Pretty much everything in here is 2 years newer on the other car, and also has less mileage on it, so it'll be better for this car anyway. It may throw a couple things out of alignment putting all that in here, but that's alright because we're going to get the car realigned anyway. You guys can see the axle nuts, the bolts are over there. I went ahead and took the e-brake off so we can spin the wheel if we have to, and then we'll be able to move those nuts and get to each and every single one to pull it out from there. If I'm not mistaken, that's about it. Oh yeah, no, that's not it. We still got the sway bar link connected to the upper control arm, which is right there. And then that little wire right here I'm pointing at, that is the e-brake, pretty much, for the brake shoes that are inside of this inside of this rotor. So yeah, we're gonna have to take this caliper off. Probably gonna be completely removing it, disconnecting it from the brake line here, because we have our Akibonos that we're gonna want to put on here. And what's awesome is that since we're putting on new rotors, we won't have to be cutting this backing plate, because since we're changing the whole hub with the old backing plate that was already cut, it's already going to be cut pretty much when we put the new one on there. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I'm going to have to do. This lower control arm down here too. The camber arm, that's got to be disconnected right here. So I won't be messing with any of the alignment adjustments. I'm just going to be pretty much changing the arms, but it will throw it out of alignment because the bushings do sit a little different and stuff like that. But yeah, what I'm really not looking forward to is this this rear brake connector here. I'm hoping it's not going to be too difficult, because I remember it was kind of a pain in the butt to take it off of the old car. Me and Jesse were kind of in a rush to get them off and just kind of messed it up. Hopefully not to the extent to where they're not savable. So we'll see when I'm putting everything back together. But if anything, we got spare parts. So yeah. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys a little update I have over here on the whole wheel hub axle situation. So as you guys can see, I do have the axle disconnected. It's just hanging down there right now. I got most of the control arms disconnected. I got the coilover disconnected. Now I just got to disconnect the upper arm. I got one of the lower control arms disconnected. Now I just got to disconnect this arm, and then everything's pretty much going to drop off. I got the rotor off, put it right there, and then I also got the brake shoes off. So I had to pretty much take these little springs that were holding the brake shoes together. I had to undo those, and then I had to undo these little spring screws, and it got these shoes out of place so we can move them to the side. I don't think we're going to be using these out of this car. We're going to be using the ones out of the crash car, because they have a lot more meat and they look a lot newer as well. But I'm definitely going to maybe need some of the pieces like this little sprocket or the springs and stuff that I may have lost on the old car. But that's a good thing about having two Gs. So for the e-brake cable, there's this little pin. This pretty much sits at the bottom right here and holds two brake shoes in place. And the back of it connects right here, this little fork. That is pretty much your cable for the e-brake. Not sure if you guys can see it. There was a bolt holding this in place, but now that we went ahead and unbolted that and took everything out, we should be able to pull this out. There we go. So now we have our e-brake cable disconnected from our wheel hub assembly. We just gotta go ahead and knock out the rest of the bolts for the upper control arm, that lower control arm, and everything should come out nice. And then we'll go ahead and put everything else in the car. So let's do it. So we got our old axle out, we got our new one right here with the hub and everything attached to it. We did bend these backing plates real quick to get to a certain bolt, but we could just easily bend them right back and it should be good. It'll fit our nice big brake kit on there, fit the big rotors as well as the bigger caliper. As far as these axles go, they are used, but they are in great shape. And when you are replacing axles, it's always a good idea to put some grease on this side of the flange to stop it from giving you that axle click that these G35s are pretty famous for. So that can help prevent that. I'm gonna go ahead and bolt in this side, and then we're gonna get to the other side. What up, guys? All right, I'm like a mess right now because it is just so greasy and brake dusty and all that other shit in there. Anyways, we got our old guy over here. Out here in the light, you can see that this boot is super torn, dry rotted, cracking, grease no more. And over here, we do have the old hub and axle that came out of the other crash G35. So I was able to figure out the whole e-brake situation. It was actually pretty easy. I explained it to you guys a little earlier. I was able to get it connected from the back here. Got all the bolts torqued down. Everything is good. The only thing I want to check right now is to see if the e-brake shoes actually come out when I go ahead and pull the e-brake. So let's go ahead and give it a good test. What the hell did I just pull? Oh, jeez. Alrighty, so it seems like that was our problem, that this bottom here was upside down. Good thing I have the other side so I can check and see if I'm actually doing things the right way. But, oh hey, what's up, little guy? Who's this? What are you doing over here? What are you doing over here? Where's your home? Anyway, guys, let's just see if this works now. Okay, so right now, it spins. Let's go ahead and apply it. And it still spins. What the heck?
Alright guys, so I actually found out later on that I do have the correct rotor in terms of like the outer diameter. However, the inner diameter when it comes to the brake shoes is way too big. It's about 7.5 inches on this particular rear rotor, and the rotor that I need needs to be 13.8 inches in outer diameter, however a 6.5 inch on the inner diameter, so that the brake shoes can be adjusted and actually reach the inner drum.
Alright guys, so we pretty much accomplished what we needed to do on this side in this video. I'm going to attempt to figure out what's going on with the brakes later on, but I do want to get the other side done as far as the axle and the hub. Let's go ahead and just leave this side alone. I'm going to leave our old brake caliper hanging. If you guys haven't seen the paint video of the Akibonos, I got them over here. They're really dusty right now. Got my shirt on them, but you know, clear them up a little bit, and you know, they'll be nice and shiny. So it's gonna be a little dark outside once I go ahead and finish up the other side of the axle. This axle pretty much took me a good part of the day, just kind of learning the whole, you know, system, the brakes and everything, how it works. The other side should be a little bit easier. Anyway guys, I'm gonna go grab lunch. I'm gonna go ahead and knock this out of camera, and I will catch you guys when we are back, probably on another day, taking it for a test drive. Let's see.
So I'm going to go ahead and end the video right here, guys. I want to thank you guys so much for watching the video all the way to the end. If you guys like this video, make sure you smash that like button. The G is nice and safe to drive right now, but we still have a couple kinks to work out as far as suspension and a couple other things that the car needs. If you guys want to support this build, head over to DoubleASupply.com, cop some G35 merch. We are running a 20% off special right now with coupon code HOMIEHOOKUP. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I'm going to see you in the next one.